listen up, man, because I'm about to keep it a buck with y'all like a goddamn dollar store. The practice of semen retention and celibacy is mocked and made fun of for a reason. Yes, sir, let me say that again for the people in the back. Listen up. The practice of semen retention and the path of celibacy is mocked and made fun of within the modern world we are living in today for a reason. And you might be wondering, okay, man, why is it mocked? Why is it being made fun of? What's the whole purpose behind it? Well, relax, 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 because it's time for your boy to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. Now, just to start things off, the practice of semen retention and the path of spiritual celibacy is forbidden knowledge. And when I'm saying it's forbidden knowledge, it's the type of knowledge that the modern day world does not want you to access. The reason they don't want you to access this type of knowledge is because it is a source of liberation. It empowers individuals. It enlightens individuals and allows them to transcend beyond the illusions of the material world, of the Maya, of the Matrix. If you're trying to continually keep people stuck in their lower states of consciousness, why would you let them know about the practices such as semen retention and celibacy that acts as a key for them, the catalyst for them to break free from the chains that keep them stuck operating at their carnal nature? Why would you want to do that? It's like giving a prisoner the blueprint to the entire jail system so they can create their escape plan. Why would you want that to happen as someone in the position of keeping people subordinate and submissive to your agendas? Let that sink in, let that marinate in your mind for a second. Because that is the whole premise behind why it's mocked and made fun of. This is forbidden knowledge. This is liberating knowledge. This is spiritual freedom. Once realized and instilled through these disciplines that you access and realize. This isn't a no nut November challenge, no fab November challenge. This is real deal. Spiritual discipline, spiritual practices that allows you to undergo this metamorphosis from a man to a divine being, from your animalistic mind to your higher faculties. You don't understand these types of concepts because, of course, not only is it forbidden for this stuff to get out there, not only is it kept for the people who really run this world, who really call the shots, who really dictate where society goes. They are practicing these type of things. They're telling you the complete opposite. But also, when it comes to this type of content, whether you see it on YouTube, whether you see it on podcasts, they don't get into the depths of it. Oh, they talk about the benefits you get physically, the benefits you get mentally, the female attraction, all that shit. It's not about that. It's about freeing your spirit from the confines and the constraints, from being a slave to your senses. That's what this practice is about. That's what the whole spiritual journey is about. Ascending, becoming a true sovereign entity rather than a pawn on the motherfucking chessboard of life. So when you hear people, whether it's other content creators, talk about semen retention, just realize that this forbidden knowledge has layers to it. And when you hop on this channel, we get right into the depths. We get right into the details. Because we ain't got time to fuck around and play around. This ain't fun and games. We're here to really achieve a state of liberation. Live a life of true fulfillment. Following our spiritual mission, our spiritual duty, our dharma. That's what we're really brought here to do. Not fuck around and worry about, oh man, I'm at 30 days, does female attraction happen? Fuck no. Grow the fuck up, stop being a loser. But for the people that are watching this channel, you already know we get into the depths. But as we continue on, I want to say this. That whole premise of keeping men subordinate as slaves to their senses, as slaves to sex especially, as slaves to junk food, as slaves to indulging and their lower level desires is the greatest way to keep them as sheep, to keep them asleep. God damn, man, I'm spitting bars out here. This is the greatest way to do that, to ensure that you just keep churning out more and more men who become cogs of the machine, who are living life on autopilot mode, who are living life unaware, who are living life unfulfilled, going from one sense of pleasure to another sense of pleasure to another sense of pleasure as they continue circling on this hamster wheel of life. That carrot's being dangled right out in front of them. They think they're almost right there about to get it. Get a little nibble, that's it. You're going from pornography to chasing women to buying clothes to buying cars to buying this to doing that. You're consuming. You are a consumer. And like I've said before on a previous video on this channel, carnality and consumerism are what keeps this cycle of samsara, aka the cycle of reincarnation, aka the cycle of this Maya, the matrix, the illusion running. But when you cut through that, you cut through the veil, through the practice of celibacy and semen retention, of course, along with other spiritual practices, it ain't gonna be the end all be all. It is the fuel, the catalyst for higher states of consciousness. But in order for you to abide in those higher states of consciousness, of course, you need to instill other foundational elements that we talk about here on this channel, on the main channel, on the private Patreon community. Shout out to the fucking private Patreon community, man. Look, if you're interested in topics like this, subjects like this, like I said before, we get into the depths, into the details of this esoteric science of self-mastery over this path of becoming a sovereign entity, then you are doing yourself, yes, you are doing yourself, motherfucker, a disfavor by not joining up into the private Patreon community. Because within there, you get access to a plethora of exclusive videos that ain't going up on this channel, that ain't going up on the main channel, that you ain't gonna find anywhere else. That's gonna give you the sauce, give you the game to elevate on all fucking planes, the mental, physical, and spiritual, along with full guides, in-depth occult lectures, and most importantly, if you tap into the Philosopher's Circle, aka the highest membership tier group within the private Patreon community, you get access to our private group chat and our bi-weekly mastermind live calls. We're hopping a call with me and a bunch of other men, a like-minded community of men who are also on this path of self-mastery. You curate the community of men who are gonna want to see you ascend on all planes of reality. We're also walking in lockstep with you towards true self-realization along this path of self-mastery. If you want to be surrounded with people like that and stop fucking around with people that are nonsensical, that are just acting as anchors in your life, not allowing you to ascend to your highest potential, then tap in, man, because you will not be disappointed. All the links can be found within the pinned comment of this video, whether that be to join into the private Patreon community, links to our other services, whether that be the application forms for my personalized coaching program, one-on-one consultation calls, free community Discord server, weekly newsletters, all that good stuff posted in the pinned comment of this video. But like I was saying, for the people that are watching this channel, the main channel, who tapped into the private Patreon community, who might be working with me one-on-one on the program, who might be hopping on these consultation calls, we talk about the spiritual practices along with the fuel, with the source of energy that feeds it, that nourishes it, which is of course semen retention and celibacy, but it leads into your meditative practices. It leads into your physical exercises to improve your physical vitality. It leads into your spiritual path of unfoldment, understanding who you are and what you are on a deeper level, and what you were really brought here to do, uncovering and discovering your dharma by dissolving these attachments, these karmas, these carnal distractions that are blinding you from your true path towards fulfillment. The world, the Maya, the matrix, the illusion does not want you to find that, because once you find that, you no longer are someone that they can mold, manipulate, and just bend your mind to follow their will, to follow their agendas. You start to build out your own life. You start to materialize what you want out of this world, what God has brought you in here for. That's why it's mocked and made fun of. There's a culture behind it. There's a hive mind behind it. And what I'm saying is that on a deeper level, when it comes to human psychology. There's something called the hive mind effect, the NPC effect, if you want to call it that, where whatever is popular and whatever is in front of people's faces, that's eventually what is encapsulated into their identity, and they just go with that. They don't ever question it. They don't ever think about it, because they are living life at a surface level source of existence. They're only thinking about survival, they're only thinking about sex, and they're only thinking about status. So it's easy to manipulate their morals, their values, their mindset towards whatever the Matrix is promoting, to whatever the Maya is promoting. And what they promote is the fact that men, your source of happiness in life, your source of fulfillment in life, is directly correlated to how many bodies you got. And I'm not talking bodies. I'm not talking about laying people 6 feet under the ground. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how many sexual partners you've had. That's what they conflate with the ultimate pinnacle point of masculinity. And if you're not on that path, guess what? You're made fun of, you're mocked for a reason. Because they know that that path gets you true freedom in life. Not by smashing this girl, that girl, that girl, that girl. Not by watching pornography video after pornography video after pornography video. They know those things is gonna keep your consciousness in a chokehold. Like you're fucking Khabib on Conor McGregor. You tapping out. And when you tap out, you go unconscious when you get choked out. Guess what? They tell you to become a slave to them. You become subordinate and submissive to the will of whatever the world wants you to do, rather than the will of the Spirit, rather than the will of God, because you're not making your own decisions. You're being consumed by that hive mind, because carnality and consumerism have completely dominated your consciousness. All you're thinking about, again, are those lower 3 planes of existence. Those lower 3 chakras are dominant in your being. Survival, sex, status. That's all people care about. That's easy to manipulate when all you think is about survival, sex, and status. Dangle a little bit of that in front of you, guess what? You're gonna follow. You dangle that off the cliff, guess what? You're gonna follow. Fall off the cliff, unconscious, grab the unconscious body, put into a cog of the machine. Make it into a cog of the machine. Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? This is why maybe your friends, maybe your colleagues, maybe your community around you, if you talk about semen retention celibacy, they think you're a weirdo. They think that you're, oh man, he doesn't like girls. Oh man, he's a loser, this and that. When in fact, you probably like girls more than them. In the sense where you're respecting your seed, respecting yourself, saving yourself for that pure woman that you want to get engaged into a relationship with. They don't really like women, they like the relief of busting a nut. Because they think that, oh man, people are gonna think I'm cool. I'm gonna get that validation. If you are living life like that as a man, you are the closest thing to a bitch than anything. If you need other people to tell you, oh man, you're cool, oh man, you're this. You need external source of validation. The true man, the true mystic, the true self-realized master doesn't seek for validation externally. It seeks for unification with God internally. God damn, that's a bar. Write that down. Tattoo it on your forearm if you need to. Let that be a reminder. The mystic man, a true, ultimate state of man, doesn't look for external validation because they know it's temporary, it's an illusion, it's emotions, they come and go. You might be happy one day, you might be sad one day. But abiding in a state of existence of spiritual ecstasy only is access to the internal journey of purifying yourself and connecting yourself to that higher point, to that higher states of consciousness, which of course semen retention and celibacy helps you along that path. That state of existence is internal. It doesn't go away. It is something that you abide in, that you envelop your mind in. You ain't gonna find that externally. But again, these motherfuckers trick you. They trick you into thinking that you'll find it externally. And you might get little dopamine spikes but you're not living in a state of serotonin like we talked about before on a video on this channel titled "Forget About Chasing Pleasures, Focus on This Instead." Dopamine comes from small time temporary pleasures. Serotonin. Have you ever taken psychedelics before? Hopped on the gooms, hopped on the shrooms, popped the tab, geeked up on some LSD. You feel serotonin, you feel bliss, you feel spiritual ecstasy. If you ever rolled on MDMA, you've definitely felt spiritual ecstasy. What if I told you you can access that internally? And it's not gonna be found by watching pornography, eating junk food, just smashing a bunch of women. It's by the internal path of uncovering, dissolving the karmas that are covering your vision of who you are and what you were really brought here to do. And finally, tapping in with that knowledge, that inner knowledge, that divine knowledge, aka gnosis, that allows you to follow your path towards fulfillment, aka accomplish your dharma, your duty, what you were really brought here for. You're not gonna find that externally. That's why you're like peer pressured into being a little punk. Ah man, everyone's being degenerate. I gotta be degenerate too. Grow a pair of balls, man. Let your nuts hang, man. If people are making fun of you, first of all, what is your point of trying to tell people, oh man, I'm on celibacy, I'm on semen retention to get validation? Who cares? But even if that does come up and people are making fun of you and you bend or fold to the words of the masses, and it's funny enough, your friends, your family, whatever it is that are making fun of you, they're not making fun of you. They're just repeating a script, like an NPC. If you ever played video games, Skyrim, my favorite video game of all time. Bunch of NPCs in that video game. They have a script that they read. Doesn't matter if you're punching them. Doesn't matter if you do some crazy stuff. You click A and they speak to you. Well, I took an arrow in the knee. I took an arrow in the knee. They just repeat the same thing. That is what's happening when people, the hive mind, the masses of society, have the programming of the matrix literally molded into their consciousness, molded into their psyche. They're not thinking for themselves like, oh shit, that sounds smart actually. Not wasting your sexual energy, not wasting the source, the cosmic force that has the ability to create another human being on nonsensical desires, which come and go. You use that, you transmute that towards manifesting and materializing what it is that God has brought you here for. Oh shit, that makes sense. No, they're not gonna say that, and if you do have some friends like that, beautiful. Matter of fact, if you don't have any people like that around you and you're trying to get people like that around you, that's why I said tap into the philosopher's circle, bro. We got a private group chat, bi-weekly mastermind live calls with people that are thinking on that same motherfucking wavelength. You ain't gonna find these people in just your regular day-to-day life. Like I've said before, people who are watching this channel in specific, the second channel, What the Fulati, are more psychologically and spiritually mature than the masses. I'm not saying you're better than anyone. I'm not here trying to be like a new age guy. You're a chosen one. Fuck no, you're not. But you've been blessed, maybe through other past lives, maybe through whatever it is, to be able to grasp these types of concepts, to be able to go beyond the veil of delusion. Maybe you just need that extra kick with this practice of semen retention and celibacy. Maybe you need that extra kick by being around a community that's gonna help elevate you and hold you accountable to that point, because we're all here to ascend. You don't wanna go 6 feet under, have any regrets, have any karmas, have any attachments of why did I not actually follow my dharma? Why did I actually not follow my duty? Why did I just abide in the degenerate state of mind that everybody else was doing? And guess what? That attachment pulls your consciousness back into the cycle once again. And guess what? You got another turn on this wheel of samsara, on the wheel of reincarnation. Again, you ain't gonna hear this stuff from people talking about semen retention, female attraction. This is the celibate path of spirituality, self-realization, God realization, realizing who and what you truly are and what God has brought you here to accomplish. And when you accomplish that, you realize again that God, that source, was you the entire time. I'm gonna leave it at that though. Those NPCs, the AC-130 chopper after me, they're here for, like the movie The Matrix, they're agents, ancient Smiths. I'm not saying your friends are bad, this and that, but if they haven't waken up to this realization yet, they're just following the same script. I guarantee you all your friends have a certain lingo that you guys talk and converse with. You guys all watch the same type of content. You guys watch all the same type of sports, music, listen to the same music, all that stuff. It's a culture that gets infested into your mind, and you follow that to the highest degree without ever consciously questioning it. This is why all the greatest philosophers, innovators of time, the most intelligent men, some of them who were practitioners of celibacy and semen retention, aka Leonardo da Vinci, aka the Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, the guys like Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, the spiritual leaders of time, the people who actually question reality, they all proposed this practice of sexual transmutation, of not being a slave to your senses, of self-control, of renouncing your carnal mind in order to attain your higher faculties. You can't have both. It's like water and oil. Do you want to indulge in your lower senses? Or do you want to abide in your higher states of consciousness? They don't mix. All these people knew that. And one of the greatest quotes, I don't know exactly from which guy it was, but it was one of the Greek philosophers that stated, if you're on the side of the majority, most of the time you're going to be wrong. Because the majority just follows the crowd mind, the hive mind. It is something that they don't consciously think about logically. Like logically, whenever somebody asks me like about semen retention, celibacy, I'll just say this, logic level. Pornography, I don't want to cuck myself. I don't want to cuck myself, watch pixel on the screen, waste my time, waste my energy, waste my attention on watching two people clap themselves around, and I just get a source of relief from that. I don't want to do that logically. Logically, I don't think any of you guys want to do that. Anybody, even the masses, the NPCs. Secondly, I'm not in a position in life where I want a long-term real relationship where I can build with someone. I've been in relationships before, and the whole fact is that people, the world, tells you you need to have a relationship to be happy, to be fulfilled in life. When in reality, they just force you into these types of things with the wrong people because you have the wrong mindsets of it. And funny enough, you just put all this energy, attention, effort into something that does not last. Are you really gonna marry this woman? Are you really gonna build a family with this woman? Or is you just there for a certain amount of time? And then boom, you guys go separate ways, don't talk to each other anymore, and you wasted time, energy, money, resources, all that shit. So logically, when you take those two out of the equation, you ain't gonna watch porn and you're not in the position in life where you actually want to commit to a real type of relationship. What are you gonna do? Masturbate to your imagination? Come on now, man. The path of celibacy is literally like the best option at that point on a logical level. But now when you get to the spiritual side of things, the spiritual vigor it gives you, the physical vitality it gives you, the mental clarity it gives you, it's like, man, what is there that it doesn't give me? But again, you'll be made fun of and mocked for a reason, because the massive society will get the script. Oh, haha, are you gay? Oh, haha, you don't like women? Oh, haha. You gotta go beyond that, man. You gotta remain 10 toes down on what you want in life. And again, on an evolutionary level, I've talked about this before, but when we were hunter-gatherers, we had maybe like 30, 40 people in a tribe, 50 people in a tribe. And there's certain rules, sets of codes and conducts that people abided by. So let's say me and you, we're like, okay, bro, I don't fuck with that. We're like, all right, fuck you. Go get your own food. Starve yourself in the cold. Starve yourself in the desert. So you got this fear of wanting to fit in because you needed to survive. And that has been instilled into our DNA, into our mind, into our psyche as we evolved from hunter-gatherers to where we are right now. You want to fit in. You cannot eliminate this need to fit in, but you have to use it towards your advantage. You have to curate the community around you that's going to actually connect with your morals, values, and where you want to go in life. Do you just want to live the general day-to-day life that these Matrix NPC guys are working? That's totally fine. This probably isn't the channel for you. But if you're actually striving for self-mastery, going beyond realizing that this physical body, that this mind are just tools for a bigger purpose, for the spirit to express within this physical world for your time being, then you have to be around a community of people who aren't going to make fun of you for that, who aren't going to mock you for that, because the whole world is already built to do that. If you don't consciously choose and curate your community, you're just going to fall into the masses of society, which already have this script laid out within their psyche. They cannot consciously think about anything else. It is an compulsory reaction. Oh, you say you're on celibacy and celibacy, oh, blah, 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 blah. No conscious thought involved. Because they want to keep this type of information, again, forbidden. They want that stuff to deter you from the path. Because they realize evolutionary psychology that you want to fit in. So imagine all these people around you, all the masses of society, all these alpha top G males are telling you, you need to get cars, you need to get clothes, you need to get girls, you need to get hoes, you need all this stuff to be happy and be a real man. And of course, all these younger generations are always on the phone, always around their people of their friends who are also engulfed in this culture. They get sucked and zapped into that state of mind, and it warps their entire perspective of reality. And then they follow a path that never leads to true fulfillment in life. But again, it promotes the economy because now you're consuming, now you're being in your carnal state of mind. It's good for them, but it's shit for your soul. And you might not ever realize this, but this is why midlife crises happen. What the fuck am I doing in life? What was I really brought here for? Am I here just to fucking eat, sleep, shit, have sex, and eat ice cream and fucking, all that type of stuff? Or were you brought here for an actual impact, an actual imprint to help elevate the conscious evolution of humanity? This is why it's forbidden. This is why they'll mock you. This is why they'll make fun of you. And you gotta be detached. The law of detachment, the law of acceptance, something that we just talked about recently. There's a bunch of videos on the Patreon from the Bhagavad Gita and the Tao Te Ching, two of the most ancient spiritual classic texts of all time, in my opinion, talking about the law of detachment. Follow the path, follow the dharma that you were laid upon, that your fate was already destined for this. Don't go for anything due to the expectations. Oh man, people are gonna think I'm sick. Oh man, I'm gonna get female attraction. If you feel drawn to this path of celibacy and semen retention, and you feel like your spirit, your intuition is telling you to go on it, because that's what's gonna allow you to uncover and unfold your spiritual evolution, find your dharma, do it without expectations. Do it without caring about what other people think. Laugh, have fun. People make fun of you, make fun of yourself. This shit ain't temporary, man. You're gonna die one day. Memento mori. If you know that quote, you know what I'm saying. Remember, you will die. All this stuff is gonna fade away, dissolve into dust. You're gonna live your life dictated by the opinions of others. Again, another video that we talked about on this channel. The opinions of others are obstacles on your path towards achieving inner peace. Are you really gonna let that dictate your life? Are you always gonna be a little bitch, a little cuck, to just follow what the masses of society tell you to do? Or are you actually gonna be on this path towards liberating yourself from your lower senses and actually achieve and understand and realize your higher pursuits, your higher aspirations, your higher self? Because this practice of semen retention and celibacy on a deeper layer is that powerful. Is that fucking powerful. And that's why they don't want you to have this power. They don't want you to free yourself from the confines of your carnal senses. They want to keep you a slave. They want to keep you asleep. When people are making fun of you, oh man, I'm just gonna go back. When your friends are, oh man, everybody's got vices. One time, earlier along my whole path, journey, whatever you want to call it, I was talking to a friend of mine, and again, no hate, no bad, I still talk to this person. But I don't let anybody or anything come into my mind and alter my my path. Even though it might happen on an unconscious level, I'm so consciously aware of it because I've been tapping in and connecting and aligning myself to that higher source. But this friend said, "Oh, bro, so you don't drink?" No. "Oh, bro, so you don't smoke nicotine?" Nope. "Oh, bro, so you're not chasing girls anymore?" Nope. "You don't watch porn even?" Nope. Everybody's got vices. You're hiding something. Why do I got to hide? What do I got to hide? You think those things really give me fulfillment in life? Why would I want those things to control and dictate my life? I gotta smoke nicotine. I gotta drink alcohol. I gotta go jack off. I gotta go fuck these girls. To feel fulfillment? That's fake. That's a facade. But some people, I'm not saying that this is bad, but if you don't have that mental rigidity, I'm already naturally stubborn, man. I got the Taurus energy. I'm on that bullshit. Shout out to the bull, the Taurus gang out there. For any of you guys out there who are Tauruses, you're naturally stubborn. It's hard to move a bull, but when the bull wants to move, it moves, and it makes everybody else move. But for the people that don't have that mental rigidity, it's easy to bend and fold to whatever your friends might tell you. Oh man, true, everybody's got vices. Oh man, everybody watches porn. Oh man, everybody's on Tinder. Why don't I? Peer pressure. If you were the type of guy that was getting peer pressured in high school to drink this and that, I couldn't. You couldn't get me to do something that I didn't want to do. And a lot of people, when it comes to this idea of masculinity, it's about act. Actually, that's true masculinity. Being able to sit there within the midst of the chaos of everybody telling you what to do, and you just say, "No, I'm good." Lord Shiva, sitting there meditating, the epitome of divine masculinity. All the chaos within the world, all the nonsense going on around it. Pure bliss, pure awareness, pure state of consciousness, and saying no, renouncing all that stuff because I know what's within me. That's true masculinity. You ain't gonna find that going from pleasure to pleasure to pleasure to pleasure. You're a slave. A true divine masculine man cannot be a slave to the senses. He uses the senses for his own betterment, for the betterment of humanity. He's the one calling the shots. And this is a great quote from Osho: "The mind can either be a beautiful servant or a horrible master." This practice of semen retention, celibacy, and the whole overall journey of self-mastery with all the other topics, subjects that we talk about when it comes to the different techniques, the different tips, the different overall methods when it comes to the stuff we talk about on this channel, on the main channel, the private Patreon community with the people I work with one-on-one. It's about taking back that power for yourself, no longer giving it up. And now you're powerless. Now you become powerful. You reclaim back your sovereignty on the mental, physical, and spiritual planes of existence. That's the true divine masculine path towards self-mastery. They don't want you to tap into that. They want it to be made fun of for a reason, so you bitch out, you peer pressure. "Okay, man, I'll go do that." Like I said before, let your nuts hang, man. Grow a pair of balls. Follow your path in life. Not because you want to be a dickhead and be like, "Oh, fuck all you guys." Because you realize what's going to bring you true fulfillment. And funny enough, you might be the beacon of light that helps other people shine. That helps ignite other people's journey as well. I might be that beacon of light for some of you guys out there. I'm not saying I'm special. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. But I might have just taken those couple of steps before you to shine my own light and continue to shine brighter and brighter and brighter. And that brightness might radiate off onto you. Some people, some texts, some spiritual leaders did that for me. And you might be that version of the light for somebody else. Like I've said this before, all you need is a small little match to light up a candle. And that candle might be in a dark room. But that one candle might light up a lantern, might light up another candle, might light up another just overall flame that illuminates the whole world. That's what the philosopher's circle, the inner circle that we got going on is all about. Being around beacons of light that might inspire, they're gonna hold you accountable. Stop being a little NPC who's molded into the hive mind of whatever society tells you. Stay 10 toes down towards what's gonna bring you true fulfillment in life. There's no reason why you would be watching the video for this long on this channel. No edits, no cuts, no nothing. Just straight drop. straight game for your motherfucking brain. You would not be watching all this type of stuff if you couldn't understand what I'm saying and it doesn't correlate for you. So that's a pure sign, a direct sign that this is the path for your true sense of fulfillment, towards your true dharma. Don't let anybody kind of warp it. Again, all this stuff I talk about on this channel, the main channel, with the people I work with one-on-one, the private Patreon community, whatever it is, are all tools, tips, and techniques for you to uncover and break off the chains of attachments that are blocking your vision from finding your true source of fulfillment by accessing your true sense of knowledge, divine knowledge, inner knowledge, gnosis, which leads you towards the realization of who you are and what you were really brought here to do, and allows you to go on this path of your dharma. I don't know your dharma. I don't know your purpose. No one will ever know it other than you. It's just you're blocked. There's so many obstacles. There's so much different barriers that are blocking your brain, that is blocking your psyche from actually connecting to that higher source, which got all the answers. The practice of semen retention, celibacy, all these spiritual, different types of tips and techniques that we talk about are just tools to get to that point. At that point, there's a stream right here. You got to drink from the water yourself. But you'll never drink from that water of life, the water from heaven, of gnosis, of knowledge, of realization, if you continue to let this society tell you what is right, what is wrong, what is being successful, what is not being successful. Detach from it, renounce it. That's why all these monks, these mystics, these yogis renounce society. Not because they hate society, they hate people, but they realize there's too many distractions that are blocking them from their dharma. Come on now, man. It's made fun of and mocked for a reason. Have fun with it. Laugh at yourself. Laugh at the other people laughing at you. Not in a hateful way, not in a shameful way, not in a spiteful way. Just be like, hey man, they're on their path, I'm on my path. Why not just laugh with them? Kill them with kindness. You do what I'm saying? But it's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping you all that game so you guys can make these games, and I'm out here. Peace.